Hola, ¿hablas español? Spanish is more than just my native language. It is my cultural identity, my personal foundation formed by my parents, and the culture I grew up with in Lima, Peru. The way I process information and develop relationships have been hardwired into my brain through language and culture. I explore the connections between culture and language, and how learning a second language can instill and nurture cultural competence. Cultural competence is the will and the ability to form authentic and effective relationships across cultural differences. Language is the vehicle of communication. It is a unique human ability that allows us to use and create words to express our thoughts. What we say influences what we think, and what we feel, and what we believe. Culture is the human experience, learned and transmitted through language. Communication is the human interaction, with language plays a big part of it. Learning another language provides opportunity for understanding, respecting, and accepting other cultures. We live in a diverse world full of differences and often unnoticed similarities expressed through language and culture. Culture matters in education. When we teach, we provide guidance, elicit feedback, and motivate our students to acquire knowledge. Kamehameha schools in Hawaii embrace a cultural-based education, which produce indisputable evidence that children thrive in an environment that fosters a learning process that they can relate to.
Culture is part of education. Culture has been part of the educational process since the beginning of human civilization. So it's not rocket science that culture matters in teaching and learning and provides a positive context for students in schools and in other educational settings.
Education is presumed to be the vehicle through which we transmit culture, cultural values and norms and practices. And when you have educational institutions that are in some fundamental way at odds with the cultural norms, practices, and behaviors of the community, it creates a very difficult learning environment. It creates an environment that's not inviting for a lot of students.
The inherent benefits of a culture-based approach to education was the motivation for the Hawaiian Cultural Influences in Education study conducted by Kamehameha School's Research and Evaluation Division. The study examined the relationship between Hawaiian culture-based education strategies and student outcomes, both socio-emotional and educational, and the results of the study confirmed the value of culture-based approaches to the educational aspirations of students.
What we're finding in the statistical data that we now have for the first time, and it's a fairly cutting-edge kind of research project.
Through this illustration, we can see that the context in which someone grows and develops have an important impact on learning. Gary R. Howard explains cultural responsive teaching engages culturally and linguistically diverse students and allows them to achieve a fuller and a richer understanding of different languages and cultures without giving up their own. The National Education Association advocates teachers respect the students' culture, encouraging the dialogue in their classroom, including and honoring all the students, valuing what they bring from the different cultures to the school community.
The most meaningful thing for me that a teacher could do for a child is make them feel welcome and make them feel valued and appreciate who they are, where they come from, to as much as possible allow them to feel like they are an important part of your classroom, because they have a lot to contribute and they have a lot to share if you just explore a little bit and allow them to, to bring out the best in themselves.
Programming. Good.
In a world that becomes more interconnected every day, language is the primary means for communication and is a large part of this interconnection. Knowing more than one language or being bilingual connect us to more people and cultures. Still, in America, children are much more likely to be monolingual, while in the rest of the world, children are commonly bilingual. Due to the misconceptions about the benefits of bilingualism in early education, communication is an important part of learning and teaching. Engaging our students in a dialogue, helping them recognize the value of expressing who they are and listening others. Bilingual children often become the bridge between generations. According to Baker 1997, bilingualism have cognitive benefit by boosting students' focus, as bilingual children show that think more flexibly and creatively than monolingual children. Bilingualism has economic advantages in our ever-shrinking global job market. Proficiency in another language often opens up more jobs opportunities. Un mundo bello comienza contigo. A beautiful world begins with you. Learn another language. Embrace diversity.